Anna sat in the quiet courtroom of the Milwaukee County Courthouse, wearing her late grandmother's pearl earrings, refusing to speak even as her mother shouted. Linda, her mother, pointed at her and said loudly, "She is mentally sick. She has never been stable." The judge, a woman in her 60s with silver hair, listened patiently. Then she turned to Linda's nervous lawyer and asked, "Do you truly have no idea who this woman is?" The lawyer blinked, confused. Anna folded her hands, calm and silent, waiting for the truth to begin unfolding in its own time. To understand why Anna was sitting there so quietly, the story had to go back years. Anna was a 33-year-old fraud examiner who specialized in elder financial abuse. She had handled cases in the Milwaukee courts for 7 years and testified in 38 cases. Most lawyers feared her evidence because she always came with documents, dates, and hard proof. Ironically, her own mother, who had not spoken to her in 19 years, had no idea who Anna had become. Linda had walked into court thinking she was fighting a helpless daughter. She had no idea she was fighting an expert. When Anna was 14, her parents divorced. Her father moved to Oregon, and her mother remarried a man named Tom only 3 months later. From that moment, Linda decided there was no space for Anna in her new life. She stopped calling, stopped visiting, and left her daughter in the care of Grandma Doris. Doris was a retired schoolteacher who tracked every receipt and balanced her checkbook every Sunday morning. She raised Anna with love, routine, and honesty. She never knew she was training one of the strongest fraud examiners the county would ever see. 8 months before the courtroom drama, Grandma Doris passed away peacefully at 81. She left Anna everything: the small house in Eau Claire, her savings, and a life insurance policy. 3 weeks later, a letter arrived from Linda's lawyer claiming Anna had manipulated her grandmother. Anna laughed at first. "She hasn't called me in 19 years, she told her boyfriend Ben over the phone. Ben, always gentle, said, "Maybe she wants to reconnect." Anna sighed. "She remembers the exact dollar amount Grandma saved, but not my birthday." That was when she knew it wasn't love, only money. Things grew worse when Linda filed a petition claiming Anna was mentally incompetent and needed a conservator. Tom's daughter, Megan, even signed a statement saying Anna had always been unstable, despite not seeing her since childhood. Anna's workplace placed her on review because expert witnesses could not have open competency cases. That night she stared at her grandmother's old photo and whispered, "I won't let them take what you worked for." She opened the joint bank account records Doris had added her to years earlier. As she studied the numbers, she found the first clue that everything Linda claimed was a lie. Anna sat at her kitchen table studying 2 years of bank records. She created a spreadsheet and traced every single withdrawal. 7 cash withdrawals stood out, amounts between $4,000 and $12,000. "Grandma never took out money like this," she whispered. Each withdrawal happened within 3 days of a visit from Linda. Anna leaned back in her chair and said softly, "So this is your story, Mom." Her heart ached, but her mind stayed sharp. The numbers were telling the truth. While Linda accused Anna of manipulation, she had been quietly draining her own mother's savings. The next weekend, Anna drove to Doris's house in Eau Claire to search for more answers. The air inside smelled like lavender and old books, the scent of safety she had grown up with. She opened drawers, checked folders, and reviewed envelopes carefully labeled with dates. Then she remembered something. "The safety deposit box," she whispered. Her grandmother had added her to it years ago. At the First National Bank, Anna opened the box and froze. Inside was a brown leather journal she had never seen before, dated and written in Doris's careful handwriting. The first entry nearly broke her. Doris wrote that Linda had suddenly called sounding sweet, saying she wanted to reconnect. "I do not trust it," Doris wrote, "but I am tired and maybe people change." As Anna read further, the entries grew darker. Doris wrote about giving Linda money, 2,000 here, 4,000 there. She described a December visit where Linda and Tom brought documents for her to sign, to make things easier. On a foggy-minded day, Doris signed them. 2 weeks later she realized it was a power of attorney. "I was tricked," she wrote. "I am ashamed." Anna cried softly over the journal, but when the tears stopped, her training took over. She examined the power of attorney. The signature was her grandmother's, but the notarization stamp was wrong. The notary, Ray Guston, had retired 5 years earlier. "This is a fake," Anna whispered. Forgery meant felony charges. She dug deeper and researched Tom's background. She found troubling patterns: missing money from his mother's estate and from his late wife's account. "You've done this before," Anna said quietly, staring at the screen. She called her attorney Claire and told her everything. Claire replied simply, "We're taking this to court." The hearing date was set for March 14th. Anna prepared the way she always did, organized files, timelines, receipts, and every piece of proof. Claire filed a simple denial of Linda's claims, giving nothing away. During Anna's deposition, Linda watched through video, smiling as Anna answered questions calmly and briefly. She believed Anna was defeated. She had no idea Anna had questioned criminals far stronger than her. That night, Anna met Tom's daughter Megan, who quietly admitted, "My dad made me sign that statement." Anna saw fear in her eyes. "Will you tell the truth in court?" she asked. Megan nodded. Anna drove home after meeting Megan, feeling something she had not felt in weeks: hope. Megan had quietly shared how money disappeared from Tom's mother's accounts and how he became angry when questioned. She touched her wrist nervously and whispered, "I can't stay silent anymore." Anna placed a gentle hand on her shoulder and said, "You're doing the right thing." That night, Ben waited outside her apartment with takeout. When she showed him the journal, the forged documents, and the patterns, he read everything carefully. Then he looked up and said softly, "Tell me what you need. I'm with you." The night before the hearing, Anna drove to the cemetery where Doris rested. She didn't step out of the car. She simply stared at the snow-covered headstones and whispered, "I'm going to finish what you started." Early the next morning, she walked into the Milwaukee County Courthouse wearing a navy blazer. Quiet, professional, unshakable. Ben sat in the back row beside two supportive colleagues from her firm. Claire placed a folder of evidence on the table. "Are you ready?" Claire asked. Anna nodded. Completely. She wasn't there for revenge. She was there for truth. Linda entered the courtroom wearing a navy blazer and pearl earrings Anna recognized immediately. They belonged to Doris. This small theft angered Anna more than all the accusations. Tom walked behind Linda with a rehearsed look of concern. Megan slipped inside quietly and sat at the far end of the bench, avoiding everyone's eyes. When the judge entered, the room settled. Linda's lawyer delivered a long speech describing Anna as unstable. Then the judge looked directly at him and asked calmly, "Do you truly know who you're accusing?" The young lawyer blinked, confused. Linda shifted nervously in her seat. When asked to speak, Linda stood confidently at first. "Your Honor, my daughter is mentally sick," she said loudly. "She cannot manage money. She manipulated her grandmother." Her voice shook with anger. Anna remained silent, her hands folded neatly. Claire rose afterward and said, "We would like to present evidence that reframes this entire case." She handed the judge the first document, the bank timeline. 7 withdrawals, she said. Each within 3 days of a visit from Linda. Next came the forged power of attorney. Claire pointed to the notary stamp. This notary retired in 2019. This document is dated 2024. The courtroom fell silent when Claire opened the brown journal. She read entries written in Doris's trembling handwriting. "She asked for money again today. I feel confused. I fear I signed something wrong." Linda's face shifted from anger to disbelief. Tom stared forward, frozen. Claire continued, "This journal was kept because Doris feared her daughter would come for her money. She recorded everything." Then she presented patterns from Tom's past. The missing money from his mother, suspicious transfers, repeated behaviors. Claire finished firmly, "This is not a case about mental competency. This is a case about exploitation." The judge reviewed each page slowly, her expression steady but sharp. When she looked up, she asked Linda's lawyer, "Do you have anything to say in response?" His throat tightened. "Your Honor, we request a brief recess." The judge agreed. During the break, Anna watched from her seat as he leaned close to Linda, whispering urgently. Linda's face moved from confusion to fear. She glanced at Anna for the first time in 19 years. Anna did not smile. She simply met her eyes calmly. Tom, meanwhile, sat still like a man who already recognized the end of his schemes. When the hearing resumed, Linda's lawyer stood shakily. "Your Honor, my client wishes to withdraw her petition." But the judge shook her head firmly. Given the evidence of forgery and financial exploitation, this court cannot dismiss the matter. She stated she would refer everything to the district attorney for criminal review and also notify federal investigators. Linda gasped softly. Tom's jaw tightened. Anna remained still. It wasn't victory she felt, only relief. The judge ended by saying, "The petition is denied with prejudice." In 2 hours, the lies Linda had built for months collapsed quietly under the weight of truth. 3 days later, Anna received a call from a federal agent named Tina, a woman with a strong voice and a firm handshake. "Anna," she said, "we've reviewed the documents your attorney sent. The patterns are deeper than expected." Tina explained how she uncovered more unexplained transfers tied to Tom, money that vanished from multiple family estates. "Your grandmother wasn't their first victim," Tina said. "But she will be the last." Anna closed her eyes, whispering, "Thank you." Tina added, "We'll be moving fast." For the first time since her grandmother's death, Anna felt justice moving beside her, step by step. 2 weeks later, federal officers arrested Linda and Tom on charges of fraud, forgery, and elder financial exploitation. Megan called Anna that evening with a shaky voice. "They took him away," she whispered. "I didn't think this day would ever come." Anna replied softly, "You were brave. Your testimony mattered." At the courthouse, prosecutors uncovered more than $200,000 missing from Tom's mother's estate, confirming everything Megan had feared. Anna attended only part of the trial, focusing on her own work again. But she made sure to be present for the verdict. She wanted to hear the truth spoken aloud. Linda was found guilty on 4 counts and sentenced to 5 years in federal prison. Tom received 6.5 years. Their home was sold, their debts exposed, and every stolen dollar traced. After sentencing, a letter arrived from Linda. 6 pages of excuses with no apology. Anna handed it to Claire and said calmly, "I won't read it." Instead, she visited her grandmother's house in Eau Claire, sitting on the porch where Doris once balanced her checkbook every Sunday. Ben joined her with 2 cups of coffee. "She'd be proud of you," he said. Anna nodded. "She taught me everything." As summer approached, the estate was finally settled. Anna kept the house, refusing to sell the place where every lesson from her childhood had been shaped. Ben helped her paint the living room, and when they took breaks, they sat on the porch sipping iced tea. "Your grandma built a life from almost nothing," Ben said one afternoon. "And you protected it." Anna smiled softly. "She protected me first." When the wind rustled the trees, Anna almost imagined Doris whispering, "Paper trails don't lie, my girl." It comforted her, knowing the truth had spoken louder than every accusation. One evening in early fall, Ben invited Anna to dinner at a quiet restaurant where they'd had their first date. The food was just average, but the memories were warm. After dessert arrived, Ben cleared his throat, nervous but smiling. "Anna," he said, "you've stood through storms most people never see. And you never lost yourself." She stared at him curiously until he pulled out a small box. "Will you marry me?" he asked softly. Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, "Yes." The entire room clapped, and Anna felt something new. Finally, her future was hers again. Her firm reinstated her fully the week after the court victory, and Harold, her boss, met her at the door with an apology. "We should have trusted you from the beginning," he said. Anna nodded. "I understand the rules," she replied. "But thank you." Her old desk was exactly the same, right down to the sticky note where she'd written a reminder months ago. That same day, she received her first new assignment, helping an 84-year-old woman whose nephew had drained her retirement account. When Anna met the woman, she held her hand gently. "We'll get everything back," she promised. The nephew was arrogant when questioned, insisting the withdrawals were gifts. But Anna went through the records line by line and exposed every lie within hours. In court, the woman squeezed Anna's hand and whispered, "I didn't think anyone would fight for me." Anna whispered back, "You're not alone." The judge ruled swiftly, full restitution plus a prison term. As Anna walked out of the courtroom that day, she felt her grandmother's lessons echo again. Honesty always beats greed. It wasn't revenge she felt, only balance. She was finally back to doing what she was born to do: protect the vulnerable. One quiet Sunday morning, Anna visited the cemetery again. She placed fresh flowers beside Doris's headstone and sat down in the cool grass. It's over now, she whispered. They can't hurt you anymore. And they can't hurt me either. A soft breeze brushed her cheek, almost like a silent answer. On the drive home, Anna thought about everything she had endured. False accusations, forged documents, lost trust, painful memories. But she also thought about everything she had gained. Truth, love, justice, and peace. And when she reached the porch of the Eau Claire house, she felt at home again. As weeks passed, Anna and Ben settled into a quiet rhythm. They spent evenings cooking simple dinners, laughing over small mistakes and planning their future wedding. One night, while folding laundry, Ben looked over and said, "You know, you handled everything with more strength than anyone I've ever known." Anna smiled softly. "I didn't feel strong. I just followed the truth." Ben nodded. "That's exactly why you're strong." Anna leaned against him, grateful. The storm with her mother had taken years of peace, but somehow it had also allowed her to rediscover parts of herself she thought she'd lost. A few days later, Anna received a message from Megan. "Can we meet?" the text read. They met at a small cafe where Megan looked calmer than before. "I wanted to thank you," she said, wrapping her fingers around a warm mug. "For believing me, and for helping stop him." Anna nodded gently. "You saved yourself, Megan. And you helped others too." Megan exhaled slowly, relief filling her face. "I'm starting therapy," she added. "I want to build a life that isn't controlled by fear." Anna reached across the table. "You deserve that," she said. "You really do." With time, even Linda's shadow faded from Anna's daily thoughts. She understood that forgiveness was not required for healing. One afternoon, Claire called to update her. "Your mother wrote another letter," she said. Anna sighed. "What does it say?" Claire replied, "More excuses. No apology. Do you want to see it?" Anna answered firmly, "No. I've already moved on." Claire smiled through the phone. "I'm proud of you." Anna hung up feeling lighter. For the first time, she truly believed the past no longer had any power over her. Her grandmother's journal had ended the story long before court did. As autumn arrived, Anna invited Ben's parents for dinner at the Eau Claire house. They had always been polite, but now they saw the truth of who Anna was. "We didn't understand everything before," Ben's mother admitted gently. "But we're grateful you're part of our family." Anna smiled warmly. "Thank you. That means more than you know." After dinner, Ben's father walked through the garden and said, "Your grandmother kept a beautiful home." Anna whispered, "She really did." Standing there, surrounded by quiet peace, Anna realized she had built something her mother could never touch: stability, love, and a future. Late one evening, Anna sat on the porch with her laptop, reviewing documents for a new case. She loved the quiet sounds of the neighborhood, the wind, the trees, the distant hum of a passing car. Ben stepped outside with 2 cups of tea. "Working again?" he teased. Anna laughed softly. "Just finishing something." He handed her a cup and sat beside her. "You know," he said, "your story could help so many people." Anna looked at him curiously. "How?" He smiled. "By reminding them they're not powerless." She leaned her head on his shoulder. "Maybe one day," she whispered. Winter approached and the house grew quiet in a peaceful way. Anna often spent evenings reading her grandmother's journal again, not out of sadness but gratitude. Each page reminded her of Doris's steady strength. One night she whispered, "You saved me even when you were hurting." Ben stepped into the room and asked, "Talking to her again?" Anna smiled. "Always." He wrapped an arm around her shoulder and said, "She'd be proud of what you built." Anna nodded softly. Her grandmother had endured betrayal with dignity, and now Anna carried that same dignity into every part of her life. Work continued smoothly, and Anna became one of the most trusted fraud examiners in her firm. Younger investigators often sought her guidance. "How do you stay so calm?" one of them asked. Anna replied, "By remembering the truth doesn't need to shout. It only needs to stand." Her words spread around the office like quiet wisdom. Even Harold remarked, "You're becoming a mentor around here." Anna laughed. "I'm just doing what Doris taught me." And each time she helped another elderly client recover stolen money, she felt as if she was honoring her grandmother all over again. As the wedding planning continued, Anna and Ben visited the house more often. They stood in the living room imagining where photos would hang and where guests would sit. We should have the reception right here in the yard, Ben suggested. Anna smiled. Grandma loved hosting small gatherings. Ben grinned. Then we'll make it a big one in her honor. Anna felt her heart warm. For years she feared her past would block her future, but now she saw clearly, her life no longer revolved around what Linda had taken. It revolved around what Doris had given. One weekend Anna opened the safe deposit box again. She placed the journal back inside along with a small note of her own. It read, "Your truth saved me. I promise to protect others the same way." She closed the box gently, feeling a sense of completion. On the drive home, Ben glanced at her and asked, "You okay?" She nodded. "I'm ready to let every piece of this go." For the first time she felt no anger, no fear, no lingering questions. Just peace. Pure, steady peace, something she thought she would never reach. On a bright spring morning, Anna stood on the porch of the Eau Claire house, listening to birdsong and breathing in the warm air. Ben stepped beside her and said, "A new chapter starts today." Anna smiled. "Yes. And this time it's mine." She looked at the garden her grandmother once tended and said softly, "Thank you for teaching me how to stand." The past no longer chased her. The lies no longer haunted her. Justice had spoken. Love had stayed. And truth, quiet, steady, undeniable truth, had carried her through everything. Anna finally stepped forward, ready for the life she had earned.